Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
Cake every night. Cake.
Cake. Cake. Cake. Daddy's home.
Cake every night.
Cake. Cake.
Run! It's Godzilla!
Shut up, Sean.
King Kong ain't got on me!
Jack, did you see what somebody wrote about you? Somebody wrote Big Jack got his big dick ready. You could have been Sean.
Find me a monster fast. And
That's it.
Alright, bitch.
Did you ever meet anyone before whose life was saved by Deep Throat?
You must have thought it was a gun.
Oh, send it, send it.
Shut up, Sean.
We'll do it live.
Shut up, Sean.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Daddy's home.
Cake every night.
Shut up, Sean.
That
again.
iconic. The old intro. Feels good to hear it again.
Shut up, Sean.
Classic. Yeah, that became like an ongoing gag for a while. Like it was like I remember we hacked that. We took over the CCXP live chat, and everyone just kept saying "Shut up, Sean." It was beautiful. Like it was one of the funniest. We got to do CCXP again
for sure. So, I guess to preface this, we have some news, some actual news now about Godzilla vs. Kong sequel, brought to you by KDM Monsters, who we had been hearing things from for a while, but now we have some actual images from this person. So the plot is thickening.
Yes, we got to I know they're probably going to end up watching this, but shout out to KDM Monsters. They have so much knowledge and information. I'm going to leave a link in the chat to their Twitter account. Everyone go give them a follow. They have so much inside stuff, kind of, and they're pretty cool. So,
yeah, their Instagram is really nice as well. So that's what we're going to be looking at first. Is a couple of their posts. They've been posting a lot. They've also been posting about the Monarch show, which they're calling Hourglass, as well as Godzilla Singular Point 2. But I want to mainly focus on the Godzilla vs. Kong stuff today.
Right.
So
I forget, what did we last stream? We streamed recently, so we streamed like a week ago. So look at us. We're almost kind of getting closer to the more normalcy a bit. But like I said, we got a bit more information that kind of came out in recent time. We know the working title of this movie is Origins. We saw that production began on this thing. And yeah, so there's more behind the scenes videos and more hints and clues at things to come. So I can't remember. I don't really remember all that we talked about the last stream. I think we just kind of rambled on for a while because we did it once a month.
Yeah.
So, we might just retread a lot of stuff, but you know what? It's what is it? Saturday night. We're gonna have some fun. So.
Well, no, because it was the day after we streamed that a bunch of stuff came out. So that's what we're going to cover today, what happened in the last week.
Okay, so that's good.
So
we can get a little stream out there. So
the first thing is this. This came out literally the day after we streamed. Sean sent this to me, I think, the next morning or the day after. And it was like, wow. So that's it. That's the confirmed title, working title.
Working title, because obviously the other ones had, I think, 2014, was it Fathom, or was it like that? There was Fathom was one.
Yeah.
Apex was the GVK working title. I can't remember the Skull Island or I think Orca was the King of the Monsters one. So Jack says he jumped on, but he's tired. But that's okay, Jack. You can just sit back and relax. The life of the man.
The funny thing about this is that this person says, so the Son of Kong working title is fake. Here's what's funny. Remember that title card, that production card that said Son of Kong also said Origins was the working title.
Right.
So this kind of maybe confirms that even more. So I don't really know what to believe. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of rumors going on about the whole Son of Kong angle. And I think it could very well be true. At least there's a Son of Kong or another Kong member of the species within this movie, kind of like a King Kong Lives type situation, where maybe with Monarch they're kind of hiding more secrets that we're not aware of, or or another rival company like Apex or something. We don't really know because, like I said, it's all super vague right now. We just know that there's going to be a scene in Rio de Janeiro. What we could showcase. I think we showed some of them filming already in the last live stream, but like there's more behind the set stuff. There's stuff for the Hourglass thing. I didn't see like any footage of Kurt Russell on set, but I mean that's just really cool that they got Kurt Russell on a Godzilla property. I'm really stoked about that. Like because like a lot of the MonsterVerse movies, like I think really like the first like 2 movies they really tried pulling in like more of the A-list type talent. I guess like you have Bryan Cranston in that in there, and then like Skull Island has the biggest cast. I mean, you have like Tom Hiddleston, you have Samuel L. Jackson, you got Brie Larson, John C. Reilly, and a few other or John Goodman in there as well. King of the Monsters, like you had some veterans, but like nobody like super major in that. I mean, you had Ken Watanabe and Kyle Chandler, and Vera Farmiga has done more TV related stuff, and then GVK really the biggest name was probably Millie Bobby Brown because of Stranger Things, and then Skarsgård did his stuff. Right. But yeah, like I said. Getting Kurt Russell in, that's pretty cool. Yeah. But anyways, look at that.
Anyway, back to the movie.
Yep. So yeah, like I said.
I was gonna say they have. If you look at the design of the sleigh, they actually are keeping that same Hong Kong neon look.
But like it's going even more like
blue, pretty cool.
If you noticed,
it looks very futuristic.
Yeah,
and
it's like a futuristic.
Then this was posted. So I want to see. I think this is from GBK though. So,
right, I believe so too.
Okay, so maybe this is not. Or wait,
it says Nathan and Andrews.
Was this something that wasn't in the movie?
I think this was in that original 30 minutes opening of the movie because the original opening for the movie was on Skull Island, and so this is probably that Skull Island exploration thing. I think per se.
Yeah. Okay, well then that's not super important, but it still looks cool. And so this is interesting. So there's a couple posts on that kind of references something we saw in the trailer for GBK. I think it's this one, where it shows, hey, look at Brazil, look at this big map. And on Brazil, we know there was a Godzilla attack, and right there, Rio de Janeiro, that's where the film is filming.
Right.
Or it's taking place, not actually filming. And so he's posting this picture, which is in Brazil. So that kind of lets us know maybe this is a potential location for the film.
This could be like an attack sequence too. With I don't know if we'll expect aliens, but we're gonna have definitely see a lot of other Titans in this movie, at least for right now. Like it's all super vague. Like nobody really seems to know much about this movie. This is like a J.J. Abrams production, but like super secretive stuff. So I don't know. This is very different than when GBK was filming because it's still kind of like the post-pandemic kind of world. So I mean that's not obviously something that happened within the MonsterVerse, but like in terms of filming stuff. So, but like I said, this is a big production.
Absolutely.
They're working on right here. Everyone's extra cautious in that, but it's going to be interesting to see how this thing all like kind of comes together in that. So it should be fun. I'm excited. They're going to get like that statue is getting destroyed. If this is in Brazil, there's no way they're not going to destroy that statue. Yeah, and then they also dropped a few other hints, and then like a bomb and that.
Well, wait. Along with that, let me get to the next one. This post came after it, and it says, "Can't say much at the moment. I won't. Another time jump. 5 years. 5 years. 5 years. Time will tell." So to me, this is hinting at another 5-year time jump between movies.
Right. I mean, which will only be like 2 extra years from where we're currently at. So, because it'll be 2024 when this thing releases. It's a 3-year difference between GVK and this. So it's like not much. I mean, it's almost like in real time kind of. So, but it's gonna be weird because like they jumped 5 years between like the last movie and that, and I'm like, it's gonna be weird to see like how much time has really passed. Like we've had how many years have passed since? That'd be like 15 years since 2014 at this point, right?
Yeah,
because it was 2024 when GVK was taking place, right? Because it was a 5-year time jump.
Yeah. Between
the movies and that. So like it's weird. It's like it's constantly going like 3 years ahead. Now we're finally starting to catch up, and it's like, okay, it's a couple years like afterwards, like so yeah, so there's some interesting stuff, and I like how they're going extra futuristic. Now that we've gone like crazy Hollow Earth tech, I think they're going to take it even crazier with this. Maybe can you imagine if we had like time travel in that too? within the series. We'll go Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm hearing a loud squeaking sound right now.
I think, yeah, that's my laptop. I think we're gonna get. We're probably gonna go the alien route. I think we might lean more into that, honestly.
Right.
Future, so.
Right. I kind of hope we get aliens. It's either going to be aliens in this movie, or if they do another one, they'll definitely get alien invasion. I think they'll probably want to explore a little bit more of Hollow Earth, maybe before they bring in extraterrestrial life. But we'll just have to kind of wait and see. So, all right, What do we got next here?
And
so the time indicator, and then just a bomb. Okay, that's
they think they will announce the cast soon.
Okay, because all we got is Dan Stevens. Legendary has been so silent on this movie. No writers, no anything. At least with some of like other big movies, they like make an announcement, like the Monarch TV show. They talked about that, just not this one.
All we know is the director and the cinematographer, which was on the slate.
Right. So not much else. It's super super quiet right now. Is there any others you got?
But that's cool.
You know, I'm kind of noticing some interesting things with the MonsterVerse. It seems that we're going kind of back in time a bit because, like, the Monarch TV show, whatever it's going to be called, Hourglass, is having flashbacks, and we also have the Skull Island anime, which since it's going to be on Skull Island, I would assume it's set more in the past. So there's a lot of going back. I feel like with this series right now, if you kind of noticed that, I feel like it's got to the TV show. Do you think the TV show is going to have a big connection to the next movie? Like maybe kind of
I don't know if
the
it
stage
will.
a bit, expanding upon the lore a bit, and kind of like leaving hints as to what's to come. I feel like it has to. Like it has to be something because I don't know why they'd like have a show set like during that time period if they're not going to be some sort of clues of what's to come. Maybe exploring things with Hollow Earth that we never got to see. Well, actually, no, they wouldn't get to Hollow Earth yet, given the timeline. But you get what I'm saying. Like I feel like there's a lot more that they could tap into.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that could tie into Origins, especially if this is some kind of if Godzilla Awakening is canon and it's a character from that potentially.
Right.
So, let's this last post is, I guess, speculation that a new company will be doing the VFX. They say, as far as he knows, or they know, Weta isn't doing the CGI again.
Which
Could
is
be
just
NPC.
Weta did a really good job with it. It was the best looking, and it ILM did pretty good with Kong Skull Island as well, but GVK really just upped the ante in terms of the effects. I felt.
I still think 2014 looks like the best film, but GVK was pretty good too. And they just hired.
I think I know why you chose 2014. With 2014, I think it's because it's like more grounded, right? That's why.
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of it too is they made it a lot easier with the lighting, so I think they did a really good job with that.
Right. There's not as much fantasy elements to it.
Yeah. So to finish, another possibility is a new company founded in 2021 by the DNEG guys. They have hired lots of people for a big budget project, so that could be this.
Okay.
And scanning through their posts one more time, they released this, which is I forget which. This is the TV show.
Right. That's
Look at that. There's a rain machine.
Okay.
Isn't that fun? And I believe they posted something else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, COVID is making it a little harder at the moment, but everything is going well. Some actors and actresses are done in September, and others are done in December, so 4.5 months in total.
Okay. Well, that should be interesting.
So, it's going to be a long post-production period.
Right, obviously, because they're going to have like a year and a half at least. And then I'm sure they've already prevised out the whole movie at this point. And they'll probably do a few reshoots in that, like, you know, they've done for all these other movies. And then we'll see where it goes from there.
So, here's this on the Apple TV Plus show, just because we're going through their posts. July 30th, they filmed scenes with Wyatt Russell. they shot 1950 scenes. I don't know if some of the grammar is not great. In the Philippines, lots of Asian extras, fake palms, old cars, so on and so on. So I think what they mean is 1950s.
Okay.
Because old cars.
Yeah, old cars,
So, as we
1950s, kind
thought,
of a retro vibe to it all.
yeah, Wyatt is the same character, so obviously we knew flashbacks were coming. Now we can get a bit of a time period, 1950s. That's
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And nothing really new in terms of that stuff. I mean, just another thing here that we know was already confirmed was this extra scene, because we'd seen this in the B-roll from GVK, was this scene in the cave where they would have seen the mural.
Right.
And this was obviously cut.
Yep.
And it's not going to load, but while it's loading, we had seen, on the B-roll, it was like that second statue of Kong, but then in that image of the mural, you could actually see a statue of Kong next to it.
Right, and you can still see the cave
So,
painting
there it
right
is.
there that we've established. Yeah, that's the one scene. That's the one scene
Those
I really
are
want.
up here.
Right. This is the one scene, like, I really am mad they cut the most. Because, like, there's no reason you couldn't have kept it in there. You know what I mean? Like, this one.
Wow. There it is. There's Godzilla.
Yeah. This is like, why couldn't you keep
Kong
this one
right there?
Good stuff. Yeah,
There's
like,
there's
this is one that
Kong
should
right there.
Yeah, this is one I feel like should have stayed in my opinion.
So this is a this is a very interesting thing. That is, are they going to bring it back in the sequel? Are they going to reference it again? Who knows?
But this is one scene I'm like, why would you cut it? Unless of course, look at what bot are they looking at right there? Go back for a second. Scroll to the other side. One more. Right there. Who are they looking at right there? Oh, you missed it. The other one before this one. Who are they looking down at right there?
Well, I thought that was Gia, and that's Eileen Andrews.
But who are they looking at? They're clearly like filming a scene with somebody who's died there.
I think that's Gia. I don't know who that is. Or maybe that's Gia and that's Nathan. I don't know.
It's Gia and Eileen are crouching down. There's somebody else lying on the ground. You notice that? And the cameras are filming it. So somebody must have died in this scene here. What if it was Maya Simmons or whatever it was in this scene? I just
we would have seen some. I don't know.
Right, but it looks like you see what I'm talking about.
The reason why they cut this, in my opinion, obviously, it's because they needed to cut the story short. So they needed to cut a side plot here. So then they're like, we just need to get rid of everything that would have hinted to that origin side plot. So everything was gutted.
Okay, yeah, I think you're probably right in that regards. But like I said, it still would have been cool to see. So, but that's just
again, we know there's so much lost content from this movie, and I would wait. Like, again, I know we're very antsy about getting the extended cut. I would honestly wait to see what they do with the next film. If the next film comes out and there's still all of these unanswered questions, like the Titan War, like the mural, like the space shit, if that stuff is still unanswered, we should really demand that it gets released. But if the next film tries to clear it up, which I suspect they'll do that, I feel like this will be paid off. So,
yeah, but like I said, that's the one for me. Like, that's the scene that I really wanted to see the most, was that mural cave painting thing. Like, it would have like definitely like added more to the lore, and it's just that's the one, because I'm like, I wanted to see the cave painting. I wanted to maybe have them look up and like, what is that flying thing that Godzilla and they were like looking at with the Great Titan War? It was almost like a flying Godzilla of sorts. So that's some mysterious, intriguing stuff.
So,
that I would like to see.
I can get up the tweet.
Okay. Go ahead and pull up. Which tweet would this be?
We have a very interesting tweet.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and pull this up. How's everyone in the chat doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Got like 10 people watching right now. I mean, once we get like more in tune with the with more MonsterVerse news, I'm sure people will come back. Because we had like once, I think our biggest stream was that like 500 people watching at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've all had like streams where like, if your channel's like, kind of hot at the moment, then like things kind of pick up. So, and then like I said, you get like your kind of people who stick around and stay. So, yeah, there's that.
All right. We have this interesting exchange on Twitter. I think I'm going to read the whole thing because it's all interesting. There was this crew update for. Is this the? This is for the film. So there's a bunch of
for the. Yeah, so this is the for the film. Looks like.
It says, Dangerville asked any word on the writer. Can assume Max Borenstein is back, and KDM says never change a winning team. So that's kind of their way of saying yes.
Right, and Borenstein said he was talking about upcoming installments, so that tells me that he's probably back too.
And then there's this. Somebody mentioning they wish a lot of the GVK crew comes back. Dangerville says, yep, I hope we see more of Nathan, Ngia, and Mark Russell. And then KDM says, I agree with you. Kyle Chandler couldn't remember his lines. Bring back the good ones.
Oh.
So, yeah, like, is that...
That pretty much
that's the reason he cut.
Why? Yeah, that's probably why he got cut then, if he couldn't remember his lines. So that's a bit of interesting news we hadn't seen before. So
yeah, and
yeah, like I said,
I was gonna say the B-roll. There was that whole scene of him on the phone in Monarch that wasn't in the movie at all. But like there was two of them. There were two phone conversations that were totally cut from the film.
Yeah, just gone altogether, just gone. But like the idea that he was cut because like he couldn't remember his lines, it's like. Isn't he a pro by this? Unless he just didn't care. So, but some actors are like that. They just clearly don't care about what they're in. Some actors do. Like when they do a movie, like they clearly give it all. Like I'll give an example. Like Tom Cruise in general, like he never doesn't go all in when he's in a movie. Like he gives it his all. Keanu Reeves, that's another one. They're on set. They're giving it their all. So. But like I said, if you're paid to do a job like that, you clearly should I feel like you'd probably want to care a bit too. So, but what were we gonna say?
That the whole Russell family's their whole thing was totally both characters. They were kind of, I don't want to say written out of their own film, but like even Millie Bobby Brown, like it barely feels like a continuation of the last one because it doesn't even feel like any of that really carries over. Like she doesn't even feel like a developed character again. And so
because the movie was supposed to
the dad in the movie.
Right. Originally it was supposed to deal more with her PTSD of the first movie. Obviously dealing with some crazy shit. Like when you have a giant 3-headed dragon staring you down, I mean, I'd shit my pants probably too. And then there's her connection. Like, cause she was Godzilla's main cheerleader in the movie. Out of everyone else, she went out because she almost kind of took on the Serizawa-esque role in the movie, which would have been interesting to have her confront. Yep. If there was any footage of her confronting Serizawa's son, having what would have been cool is a conversation between the two of them, or even if Kyle Chandler was kind of involved because he got Serizawa's notes. Remember at the and King of the Monsters. There's more I wanted to see. Like I said, I feel like with the other movies, we got the same plot basically. But with GBK, it was clearly changed a lot, the most, and that's why I think a lot of us feel kind of unsatisfied in some ways. Like I still enjoyed the movie overall. Like I was kind of going back and rewatching bits, like today before we went on and recorded this thing. But there's still that feeling that I can't see it. That's like the unknown. Yeah. That's really kind of getting to me. It was I guess it's kind of a similar situation with the DC stuff with the Justice League movie, and it was kind of weird to see something change drastically. I mean, it's been a thing that's happened in the past too. I don't know if you're a fan of the Halloween franchise. If you go to the producer's cut of Halloween 6, which got leaked years ago and then finally got released later on. But that movie was something that was drastically changed during reshoots and that. So,
And this doesn't make an excuse for it, but like for years and for decades and decades before the internet, this sort of thing happens to movies all the time. We just have leakers, and we were able to know about it because there's so much information nowadays that back
Right.
then this shit happened all the time and people had no clue.
Right. You're right there. You're
So
absolutely
they could
right
get
there.
away with it.
Right, but now it's like we know so much more now. I think with social media and that, like I said, you and I probably would have never met if it weren't for like all this social media stuff. Like the tools that we have on display now, we wouldn't even be making
Yep.
this video right now. We'd be kind of all off solo, maybe like talking with friends. But like I said, that's just the state of things nowadays.
That's the good and bad for industries, because now you get a new way for fan bases to share and hype up, and then you also have the bad side of that, which is they know so much that if you try to fuck anything up from their franchise, they're gonna come at you. And we saw that a lot worse with Zack Snyder's shit. Like at least our franchise, we're not like harassing anybody like, oh, give us the cut of the movie. We're just like upset. But I feel like Legendary in the MonsterVerse has built a really good relationship with the fans that I feel like some people can forgive some of the, okay, it was COVID. Maybe they had to cut the movie down. Like, I'm not super mad about it because, like, thinking about it from the business perspective, I can kind of see it. Like, yeah, they wanted more theater seats and shit like that. But
Right.
it doesn't make it suck any less, but it makes it understandable.
Right. If you didn't know any of that stuff, you wouldn't notice it in the movie. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't notice all the changes.
Right.
We just know because we're really into the stuff. Like it still flows very well. It's edited like quite well. Like it feels like maybe they went a little bit short on some things, but with what they did and like how they kind of put the movie together, like it flows. Like it doesn't like stray away from its main focus per se. Like it moves at a very quick, brisk pace, and like by the time it's over, it's over. Like it moves by so fast. Like that's a very fast 2 hours of movie, and it just kept it focused on get to Hollow Earth, get the power source, stop Godzilla. Why is he going crazy?
That is another thing, by the way, that I just thinking about now, like Serizawa's notebook. That should have been a huge thing in the story, considering Ren Serizawa, the fact that Kyle Chandler had that. Like, what if Millie Bobby Brown got her hands on it? What if she stole it from her dad or something? Like that should have been paid off. Because now if those actors don't come back, then Serizawa is just done. Because like that's his continuation there.
Mm-hmm. I think Ken Watanabe is going to be in the modern.
I mean, obviously his son, but
right. I think he's going to come back for the TV series. Oh, yeah. I think he's going to make an appearance. Like if anyone's going to make an appearance, it'll be him, maybe Vera Farmiga or Kyle Chandler, possibly, because it's going to be set in that in between phase. So I can see it happening. I'd like to see Charles Dance make an appearance, get a little bit more into his character. I don't know if he'd do it, but it's now. But then again, he's done some movies. So, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say because they have Kurt Russell, which means they're gonna have this character. I forget his name. They're gonna have him in modern times. Do you think that they're actually gonna bring back Ken Watanabe, but they're keeping it under wraps?
I think so. I think that would be. I really think that
Ken especially because it's 2014.
Right. I think he'd be a secret character in the movie. And you know what? If Kurt Russell makes it through the TV series or something like that, maybe we'll see him in one of the movies. Like that'd be a nice, cool surprise. Yeah. I mean, because adding Kurt Russell to anything automatically makes it better. Like, I mean, if you have a 0-star movie, and then Kurt Russell just adds another star to it automatically just by him being in it. It's just a fact. So hey, you know what? I'll show for Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's one of my favorite actors. He's always cool. Like, I mean, he was the coolest Santa Claus ever in those Netflix Christmas movies. The Thing, awesome in The Thing. Big Trouble in Little China, awesome. What was another one? Captain Ron, awesome. The Escape from New York movies in L.A. The second one's pretty hokey, but who's awesome in it? Kurt Russell. Death Proof, who's awesome in that? Kurt Russell. So
yeah, I like him in The Hateful Eight. He's really good in that too.
Yeah, he's good in everything. Like he makes everything better by default. So Stargate, he's good in that.
We've hit a half an hour on this. I want to just for the sake of rewatchability too, I want to try to kind of wrap this up. We can give some of our closing thoughts, but overall, shout out to KDM Monsters because I don't know who they are in the crew. Maybe there must be some kind of production assistant who's got nothing better to do, so they're taking pictures. But people, you can debate the merit of what leakers do, but I mean, somebody like that is putting their job on the line, especially when they're taking set photos. So KDM is doing this kind of for everybody. So thank them for giving us an insight. And
Yes, shout out to
I mean,
KDM.
at this
Everyone,
pace, we might
give
be
them
able
a follow.
to do a
Give
yeah,
them a follow.
I'm saying we might be able to do a stream every week at this point if this information keeps coming out like this.
Right. It's like it's exciting times again. Look at us. Like we're talking about it. Like this is the closest we've had streams back to back in a really long time, because it used to, like, when the movie was coming up and all that, like between King of the Monsters and GVK, we were out there making stuff rather frequently. And then like it just kind of got to the point like we couldn't really do stuff because we were like kind of at that dead, like that dead time. But I think we're going to be making stuff very soon though, because we got the upcoming Netflix series too, which we still haven't heard anything about, which is amazing. Like we saw an image release. There's no news on its release or anything like that. I want to hear something on that, because that to me is like a big mystery. The TV show, okay, they're filming now. The next movie, they're filming it right now. We don't know the cast. We don't know the synopsis or like anything about it. But the title Origins has me definitely intrigued, because we're going to be going back. I would love for the very opening of the movie to just be like a Jurassic World Dominion like prologue thing that was released online, where it's just the Titans in ancient times in Hollow Earth. We get to see glimpses of the Great War, and perhaps it sets up the threat for the end of the movie. Like I know it's kind of another comparison, what they did with the Justice League movie, where you had Darkseid in the past and all that, like an ancient history lesson. I mean, that's kind of like how similar it'll be in that sense, but this time with giant monsters, so it makes it even cooler. God, that just sounds crazy. Like I want to know, like, okay, what was life like for the Titans back then? Like, did the Kongs just kind of chill in this throne room? Did they build it? Did somebody else put together this mega structure? There's so much like mystery and intrigue that like, I mean, I don't necessarily need all the answers, but I kind of want to get a little bit more into the past. I'd like to see an ancient tribe of Kongs and a bunch of Godzillas like fighting side by side. We've never really seen that before. I mean, we had Godzilla and his son.
No.
But that would be cool. Have multiple Godzillas like just kind of back to back, and maybe one of them was it the novelization or something, like one of them like the Godzillas, I guess, ate like a star or something like that and flew off. I don't know. I heard something like that in the novelization of GVK. I'll have to look at it again.
Mean, they have the opportunity to do so many new things with Godzilla and Kong, and it's like at the last movie they scratched the surface of it. But I think
they did a lot with Kong.
They're go all out with it.
They did a lot with Kong. Like this, in my opinion, GVK is the best characterization Kong has ever had in a movie. I genuinely do think so, because when you look at it, like he finally gets his happy ending. He doesn't die in it, thank God. He goes on his own hero's journey. Like he's called to action. He attains a mystical artifact. He goes the distance. He gets the Rocky ending where he doesn't beat Godzilla, but he's ultimately like he wins the hearts of everybody and saves the day. Like he legit like saves the world when he takes down Mechagodzilla and like ultimately like makes peace with the enemy kind of kicking his ass. And he still saved him even after he got his ass beat. So yeah, like Kong was fantastic. Like he definitely like, this is like the best he's been. So a Godzilla never ate a little star. It was the Hollow Earth juice. Okay. Yeah. Somebody's like there, like, I'm sorry, two paleontologists or whatever. I heard something like that. I haven't read the novel, the novelization. I heard somebody say something like that before. It's like he ate like something and then got superpowers. So somebody says Hollow Earth juice. Okay, like I said, okay. I heard somebody say something like that, and I'm like, it seemed kind of ridiculous that you like eat like a star, but like I guess it's just or he went off into the stars. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it'd be something.
I also think that the new show. I think the show could be a chance for them to delve more into Godzilla's character, because we have that with Kong. They kind of skipped it. We have some, not as much evidence, but some pretty good word that a lot of the stuff cut was Godzilla stuff in GVK. So there's also that aspect where maybe we can get more of Godzilla's side of the story, and that could be what the show does.
Because King of the Monsters gave a lot more character to him than any of the other movies, because like that one was clearly like, because Mike Doherty is the biggest Godzilla fan I think of the for directors. I felt like, because like he was the biggest fanboy when it came to that, so he gave a lot of good like characterization, and like there's some nice moments in there. But I want to see more of that, because GVK was just, we kind of just got Godzilla, who's just he's kind of a dick in the movie. Let's be honest. Like he's obviously stopping something that he views as a threat, which he's right, because Mechagodzilla does go haywire and cause all this chaos. But then like he's just kind of being a dick to Kong because he's just having fun with him. Which I mean we get to see him smile, which is,
and Adam Wingard, by the way. Yeah.
What were you saying about Wingard?
I was gonna say Adam Wingard is our first repeat director, so it's also going to be interesting to see if his style shows over, because I think that this is the best interpretation of Godzilla so far, and that's coming from a 2014 fanboy. I think, like, even though again his motives were manipulated, like they in all the freaking Showa movies, or most of them, we got to see him destroying shit, and we got to see him like in this very, like you said, kind of like an asshole, kind of like how Rodan likes to act. We got to see that side of him that we haven't seen in these movies, and I'd love to see that again in some way if possible.
For me, it's like I like the King of the Monsters take the most on him, but like at the same time, we did get that wonderful shot of him like smiling and laughing like that. That's might be my favorite moment of the whole movie, because it's so like, wait, what? It's such a weird WTF moment. With him just like just laughing and smiling. Because remember, wasn't this like they couldn't show personality with him? Wasn't that like one of the Toho restrictions or something? And here he is like laughing and smiling in this one. But see what I mean? Like I want to see him I want to see more character like given to him in these movies, because I feel like he needs it. Like Kong definitely got it there, but he needs more. He needs he needs a son. But let's be honest, we need Dadzilla back, because we haven't had that in so long.
I also and they could probably do it better this time. But I also like the idea that just like the old films, there's a new director or a new take on, like every film, he feels a little bit, it's the same old character, but every iteration, he's a little different. And I feel like we've actually had that so far. And I'm interested to see where they're going to go with him in the next one, because I feel like Kong's direction is pretty clear. Like he's the last of his kind. He's just now figuring out his origins. It would be, it would be you're right. It would be interesting to see like where they go with Godzilla now, because I don't know.
Right, maybe he's just gonna be like the special attraction that kind of shows up like for the big moments or something like that. Somebody's like, Godzilla will be neutral. Yeah, he kind of is, because like if you piss him off, he'll act off, but like he mostly kind of keeps to himself. So, like he only shows up when there's a big threat, which is why I think there needs to be a little bit more with him. Have him be a dad, and that I think that'd be kind of fun. Just to kind of see a little bit more of a playful side. I really like Son of Godzilla. I like the characterization they gave to him in that movie. Like it's kind of crazy to see how the Showa era, like his character evolved. Well, obviously had the first movie, and then the one we follow was really the second Godzilla in that. So really it's like the second Godzilla who has the most characterization, because the original just kind of dies in the first movie, and then we had the second one who actually had an actual arc, which is insane to think about for a giant monster. Like think about this, Ryan. Full-blown kind of force of destruction nature. Then by the end of it, he's shaking hands with Jet Jaguar and like being like a good guy hero, like also like great dad at the same time. That's so insane to think about.
Like, they also just kind of forgot about Minya after in the 70s. They just never really brought that back again.
Right. until Final Wars, of course, gave us that.
Because there were 3 movies in a row that had Minya in it, and then after that it was like nothing. And then you had Junior and stuff, but I think with the character arc thing, I think that the new films, it's going to be harder to do that, since his interpretation has been a little bit all over the place. But either way,
right,
we'll see what happens. Everybody would love Son of Godzilla. Give him another motivation to fight and stuff like that. I'd love that.
Mm-hmm. Somebody says the MonsterVerse is the modern version of the Showa era, if you think about it. Yeah, in a way, they've kind of tackled all the different aspects, really, like the force of nature, like kind of a bit of a good guy. I want to see. This is just me. I hope Wingard pays tribute to more of the Showa stuff. I want to see him shaking hands with Kong at the end of the movie, like it's full blown, like Kong learns to like shake hands.
Oh my god!
Like It'd be so ridiculous, but you know what? I'd be 100% all for it. That's something I want to see. A few other things that I'd like to see. I'd like to see him fight in Hollow Earth because we didn't see Godzilla in Hollow Earth at all. Originally, that was one of the
I would
ideas
love that.
because that was supposed to be the second fight was in the throne room temple, but they just kind of kept it for whatever reason. I guess it didn't work, and so they kind of kept him like they kind of kept the fight just in the city because originally, like after he breathed his atomic breath, he was supposed to go down there and they would have fought in the throne room, which would have been cool. And then they somehow end up back in the city, so that's something.
Right.
But yeah, so that would have been kind of cool to see. I'd like to see the whole like because they showcased the whole gravity thing in Hollow Earth. Like I think that's the way you can pay tribute to different moments. Like for instance, remember when Kong did the jump leap of faith and kind of is floating through the air? If you want to have like if you want to pay tribute to like the tail slide, you can have Godzilla like jump and slide down like with the different gravity. Or if you want to pay tribute to like that scene where he starts flying at Godzilla vs. Hedorah, just have him jump right there and then use his atomic breath to kind of push him one way. Those are ways you can pay tribute to that stuff. So like those are some ideas.
That would be funny.
That would be funny. I want to see another beam battle again, but this time a little bit longer. I remember that. Remember that was like one of my big
especially
things.
if it's like a space Godzilla.
Right. We don't know. What do you think the villain is this time around? Do you think it's just gonna be? I don't think it's just gonna be some original monsters. I feel like they've secretly got rights to like more classic because people want to see more of the classic monsters again too. It's like we want to see how Legendary is gonna update stuff. I don't know which one Wingard would go with though. I feel like the way they're kind of like putting things together, like if this really is kind of a Son of Kong thing, like why is Godzilla like acting things up? Why is there an attack in Rio de Janeiro? Is it just other Titans rising up? Is it just like everything's caught in the middle of things? What is really going on? I don't feel like
the next.
Oh, go ahead.
The next movie's going to have a bigger scale because, well, again, we can't really get into that. But I was going to say we have some pretty good reason to think that Mothra might be back, which we have had a good reason for like 2 movies at this point. But
right. Yeah, because
so,
like I said, Mothra has not been shown because they still had that egg. So I feel like Mothra would be back for sure, and so would the twins. I feel like it would be a little bit redundant to have the main conflict just be Godzilla versus Kong again. I don't think they're going to do that because they made peace at the end of the last movie. It would just seem kind of redundant. I think they'll probably like have a bit of a scuffle again, but there's going to be something else going on that kind of has this conflict here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, best friends fight every once in a while. So
yep, as the my little novel thing here says, sometimes friends fight, right? Godzilla vs. Kong, sometimes friends fight, but they always make up, as I have right here. I love how I spent money on this thing. Think about that. Like this is like clearly not for me.
Video on it too.
Yep. So I didn't. It's the Kong and me. You didn't make those thumbnails for those videos though, so I did appreciate that. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, who do you think? What do you think? Okay, if you had to put money on it right now, Ryan, if there's a Toho monster that's the villain in this movie, who do you got?
All right. I do want to end this pretty soon, so we can make this our closing segment. I'll give you 2 answers. What I think they're gonna do is some kind of space Godzilla or some kind of like Ghidorah incarnation. But what I really want is Biollante.
Okay, that's a good answer. As for me, I would like to see Space Godzilla. I don't know. It's like it's weird because like I have like 2 ways I go about this. Biollante, I think would be like the right choice to do, but I don't know if they'll actually do that. I can see them bringing other smaller ones like Anguirus and that. I feel like if I had to put money on it, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to say Gigan.
Ooh,
I feel like because Space Godzilla Destroyer is another one, but I feel like if they don't want to end this thing right now, so like either you have Space Godzilla or Destroyer as your final boss in this series. That's where I put my money on it. Wingard doing Space Godzilla would be insane though. Like that's one that's a super out there concept, but I would be all for it because it'd be something really just nuts. So yeah, like I'm like Destroyer. You could do it, but like I feel like that's something you really save for the end, unless you make Space Godzilla your final boss. Whichever one you do first, the other is going to be the final boss. Maybe they'll save Gigan for like another movie if we don't really have the alien invasion angle. And this one, I feel like we're gonna get it at some point, and I think that's when you bring in your Gigans and your Space Godzilla, and you have like a full alien invasion type thing. And this one, Biollante seems like a logical choice, or Destroya. That's
back in the 70s. They wanted to do Godzilla versus the space monsters, which would have been Ghidorah, Gigan, and Megalon. You could do something like that, where it's not just one; it's more than one.
Right. So it's going to be one of them. It's going to be either my top 4 picks: Space Godzilla, Gigan, Destroya, Biollante. If it's anything else, I'll be surprised. It's one of those 4 at least, which will be in the next movie. If not, then I don't know what other choice they'll give. Orga? I don't think they go with Orga. They pick the other 4 first because they're more popular than Orga. But those are my top 4 picks for who would be in the next movie. It's going to be one of them. I can't see them unless they bring back Ghidorah or Mechagodzilla again. Then again, it's every time there's a Mechagodzilla movie, there's almost like a counter movie to it, because we had it in the 70s, we had it in the 2000s, and then we kind of had it a bit in the 90s because they used the Mechagodzilla to build Moguera a bit. So there's always some sort of you can be rebuilt, but I feel like they want to add new things and not just kind of redo the same bit. But Space Godzilla will be really cool. I mean, that would be something there. So it's going to be one of those 4. It's going to be Gigan, Space Godzilla, Destroya, or Biollante. Those are my top 4 picks that'll be in the next movie. I bet you one of them is going to be, it's expensive to get the rights to these things, but it's going to be one of those 4. If it's not, then I'll be really surprised, because there's no way they're not going to have like some other secret Toho. There's no way they won't like include one of them, I think, because they want to add like something new from the other stuff, because nobody knew that Mechagodzilla would be in this new movie until that toy leak, right? Like that was a big shock and surprise to everyone, because nobody expected them to go that out there, because the first movie is super grounded. But like as it's gone on, we've gone more crazy with the plot and story and that. So I'm gonna say it's one of those 4.
Who knows what they have up their sleeve? So,
right, we don't know.
To wrap this thing up, do you have anything to advertise for your channel or what's going on?
No, not much really. I just did a video yesterday on the new movie Prey, so if people want to check that out. We're still kind of like waiting on some MonsterVerse news right now. We got some of this stuff right here. Maybe by Monday we'll get some big stuff and we'll make another stream about it or something next week. I'm enjoying the fact that we're back to doing some more streams again, Ryan. I think it's fun to do. I like conversing with you on this stuff. I like doing the live stuff with the chat and that. I need to do more live streams on my channel. I just have no idea what to do when the time comes, but like at least when I'm on your channel, like I have fun doing it. I get to see those amazing intros. Which other one? You have to make a new one that kind of combines the best of both elements. So I like the second intro maybe a little bit more in some ways, but it doesn't have the shut up Sean's. So, and I hope the chat brings that back. I want to hear some more shut up Sean's in the chat, because to me that's the most fun stuff. I don't know if we have any other questions in the chat. Somebody says Kong needs to do the middle finger. I agree. Biollante, it fits with the Hollow Earth aesthetic. Yep, right there. Godzilla vs. Monkey, part 29. Okay. An alien having resemblance to Godzilla is too convenient, like did MonsterVerse Mothra fly to space and dump Godzilla blood inside black hole, LOL. Well, you know what? Maybe aliens create Space Godzilla. Now that would be interesting if they used his DNA. It's kind of like an Orga type thing, but they create Space Godzilla. But
well, hey, think about this. Never mind. I was gonna say, like, when Godzilla destroyed Ghidorah and like atomic breathed his head into the sky. What if those? I don't know. Like, what
drifted into space or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, no, because that was. Yeah, because that wasn't the head that Alan Jonah got. He got the one in the water. So, what if that blasting into space ended up doing something? Who knows?
Yeah, there's a lot of you can do with Ghidorah's DNA. Like maybe use Ghidorah to kind of help create. Yeah, and like using Hollow Earth energy, some crazy scientific experiment stuff.
Think about this too. Burning Godzilla, he kind of exploded. When he did the nuclear pulse, it hit Ghidorah. So maybe there's some Godzilla DNA in that head as well, and we know Mothra's in there too. So that could be some fun thing.
I don't know, crazy science shit. Like the science doesn't have to make sense; it just has to be fun.
Yeah. So that's it for the news this week. I guess the only thing that I would say is if you guys want to check out people outside are yelling, shut up. So if you want to check out my other channel, we're going to get season 3 started up in a couple weeks. So we have a bunch of movies that we're gonna do. So this is it. If you want to check it out,
Yeah.
did our episode on Speed recently. That's our most recent episode, but we did also do like a little wrap up, and we do some YouTube shorts. So those are always fun.
Yep. Speed is a pretty cool movie, everyone. So you should check that out. You should be sharing your videos to your page more often, though, so people click on it, like to your community tab. So like I said, that's your other channel. So I would recommend it. You can get some more eyes and ears on that side. Me, I do a bit of everything on my channel, so I like having that, you know.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy talking the monster stuff with you.
I know, I do
and all
too.
that the most. So like to me, it's the most fun to do. So
hopefully by next weekend, we might have more stuff to talk about. So everybody stay posted here and to KDM stuff.
And my channel as well. So I'm going to try my best to keep up to date on some things. I may do another MonsterVerse-esque video. I kind of want to go back and review some of the comics that I never did. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like there's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes. So, but thank you all so much for joining us on this live stream. Always a pleasure, Ryan. Let's look forward to more stuff. Hopefully get that Netflix series at least this year to kind of hold us over. Because
they better start releasing stuff for that.
Right, because it's been like a year and a half since like GBK came out now, and now I'm getting to that. Now the impatient fan is kicking in again.
All that and the show and the movie. They're all just going to carpet bomb at the same time, something like that. So,
I think it's good to space them out a little bit. You know, give somebody like something to kind of hold on to for a little bit to digest a bit. Now I think we're so used to that with a lot of franchises, where we get so much all the time. They don't really go too long without it. That we've kind of grown a little bit impatient. I mean, look how impatient we were for that first GBK trailer. But that was a never-ending thing with that one. But now we're like a year and a half like out from that movie having been like released, and now I'm just like, man, I want to feel hyped and excited again. So
yeah, well, things are coming, and the fact that we streamed, we're averaging once a week over the last 2 weeks. It means it's getting better. So stay tuned, everybody. Go check out Sean's channel. And any last words? If not, see ya.
Cake every night.
That too.
That too.